Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML. We are here for Division 2 action. It is round 9 of the championship as I take you through the Russian Grand Prix from the Sochi Autodrome. My name is James. I'm going to be taking you through the stream as per usual. Sorry about the graphics everyone. Tom's connection sadly down, so that means we're just going to be streaming normally. But we are perfectly on time. Qualifying is about to begin. So before qualifying does begin, let me take you through the standings in question. M Short currently leads the way in the championship on 198 points, with Scuba in second on 168, with Wesker in third on 149, Gary in fourth on 100. Matt Tibos in 5th on 95, with AJ in 6th on 85, Sway in 7th on 84, Adamako in 8th on 76, Matter in 9th on 71, and Cowboy in 10th on 70 points. Powdy filling out the bottom half of the grid on 68 points in 11th. J. Cole, who has changed to Excel, he's in 12th on 65 points. Patrick in 13th on 55. Dan Morris in 14th on 54. Khaled in 15th on 53. Only 3 points separating 13th to 15th. Kieran McGinley in 16th on 40. Captain Chubbs on 42, I should say. Captain Chubbs in 17th on 40. ASC Alonso in 18th on 34. Mac Maverick and XL Ling, who has had a name change. He's now known as XL Zwiedema. They're on 25 points, separated for 19th position out on track. And good evening to everyone that might be tuning in. We don't have the fancy graphics for you, as I say. Tom's wired connection that he normally runs on is down. He can't run the stream through Wi-Fi, which means the best alternative is for me to stream directly to the channel, which is what we are doing right now, which is absolutely fantastic. Apologies about the black box, somebody has just came online. Constructor standings before we see Adamako onto a lap. 247 points for McLaren in first, Alfa Romeo in second on 243, with Racing Point in third on 234. Then a big gap to Renault in fourth on 166, Ferrari in fifth on 165, Red Bull in sixth on 154, Williams in seventh on 129, Haas in eighth on 115, AlphaTauri ninth on 80, and Mercedes in 10th on 36 points. Adamako just about to begin off a lap here. 18 turns await these drivers out on track, so we'll cut on board with the Williams man, who delivered a good performance last time out, of course, in Italy. We'll see how he can cope with the undulating track. Relatively flat track, to be honest, but an undulating nature through the third sector of Russia. Adamako now comes through turns 2 and 3, then through the flat left-hander here of turn 3. Might have miscounted my corners there. Adamako now through turn 3, then into turn 4. The Fish Stadium just to the left-hand side. That's where, of course, they hosted the opening ceremony for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Adamako through the first sector, 33 flat. I was quicker than him on a time trial lap early on that I was doing, even though I invalidated just out the corner he's gone through. And now Adamako coming through turns 8 and then in towards the double left of turn 9 and 10. Bit flat through there, but very nice indeed. Now he comes through in front of the Olympic Village through turn 11, which caught quite a few drivers out actually in Division 1. If you missed that race, go and watch it back afterwards, because you really missed a big accident out on track, and a few drivers losing it there. 104.6 from Adamako coming through the middle sector. He's got a McLaren, who I think is Zwiedema, on a lap behind him. He's the only McLaren in the field. Adamako now reaches the uphill section of turn 15 and then towards turn 16. Looking very nice on the power here. And he wants to get a good banker lap in, it seems. He will go quicker, of course, as the session evolves. And Adamako ran the final 2 corners. Comes across the line. Yeah, 131 flat. We'll see how Zwiedema gets on. He already betters him by 0.8 of a second. So Zwiedema on top. Adamako second. Dylan there in third position. We've got Matt Tibos coming through the end of the middle sector. Purple through that middle sector. 104.1. We've right on board with him now and come through turn 14 and then in towards turns 15 and 16. Of course, Renault next season are going to be known as the Alpine Formula 1 team. Good to have another French brand within Formula 1. Obviously replacing the Renault name as Matt Tibos gets all out of shape coming through turn 16. He looks like he'll go quicker ahead of the likes of J. Cole. AJ, he runs massively wide. He does a medium pilot in Division 1. Across the line, it would have been a 31 flat and he would have gone ahead of Adamako with that lap. And also to point out, it is an XL123 currently, but J. Cole has also changed his name. He is now known as XL J. Cole after the disbandment of ILRT, but I think XL have picked up a very good sign in there, to be honest, and also with Zwiedema having the name change from Dan. Massa is not on a lap, but he is coming through the final sector. I think he's going to come around to start off a lap, and he is still known as ILRT Mata, as he now comes around the final corner. And looking good through there as he now comes onto his official lap. Let's see how he's going to cope with this. Comes through the kink at turn 1, opens up the first DRS zone. Second DRS zone, of course, is down the back straight after turn 11. Mata in towards turn 2. Looking very nice on the power. Just locked up the front right slightly. Might take a little bit of wear on the tyre. Now Mata coming through turn 3, looking very flat as Dylan goes quicker than Zwiedema. So the two Dutchmen at the top, Dylan and Zwiedema, filling out the first two positions here in Division 2 so far. Mata through the first sector, 33.2. It's not lightning quick, but I'm sure Mata will provide us with a lap. Short, I think we saw him came out the pit, but he must have invalidated on his lap, the championship leader. We're still waiting on the likes. Wesker hasn't turned up either, and Scuba is not here either as well. So Short, pretty much now going to be guaranteed, I think, to have a crack at winning the championship next week. It can't be won this week, however. As now Mata comes towards the end of the middle sector. Already 6 minutes through qualifying, 104.8 through the middle sector. Again, it's not lightning quick, but as long as he gets a lap time on the board, I think he'll be relatively happy with that. And then he'll probably come in for another in-lap and then go out with around 8 minutes to go, I would think. So now Mata comes through turns 15 and 16. That uphill braking zone into turn 15 is an opportunity for overtaking around here. It's going to be really intriguing to see how these guys will cope with that, as now Mata comes out the final corner. Go ahead of Sway, certainly. Across the line, he goes 8th with a 31.6. Captain Chubbs has just started off on a lap. We're on board with Harry as well, the Greek man, on the Mercedes. He's invalidated his lap, but I can report that Short is on a lap, and ASC Alonso, I should say, is also on an out lap. And we'll actually cut on board with Short, who's coming around the final couple of corners. Got mixed up. I thought it was Alonso ahead of Short there, but it's Short actually ahead of Alonso. That is Harry, I think, just coming out behind him. Or is that Dylan coming into the pits? One of the two Mercedes anyways. Short now through the final corner. Start us off on a lap. Let's see what the championship leader can do here around Russia. Now comes through the kink of turn 1. Of course, you can take that flat out in excess of 205 miles an hour down in towards turn 2. Now Short, of course, where Matsushita lost it in F2 in 2018. Not really best thing, but you see him taking a very tight line coming through turn 3 and now in towards turn 4. Looking very nice. Ice hockey arena to the left-hand side, given the shape of the stadium there. 32.6 through the first sector from Short. This could be on par with what was set in Division 1 so far. 32.6 through the first sector just for terms is quite quick. Short now coming through the first into the middle sector, now coming through turns 9 and 10, and in towards turn 11. There's the Olympic Village just in front. Now brakes, just missing the apex slightly there, slight misjudgment, but Short now running down the straight. We'll run on board with the broadcast cam as we come now down the straight. If he sets a sub 103 through the middle sector, yeah, 103.7, so he's in and around Dylan's sort of area. He might break into the 129s. As now Short comes out towards the final 4 corners out on track. Turns 15 and 16 await him. And coming through there very nicely indeed. Let's see how he's going to cope with turns 17 and 18. Double right-hander to finish. 90-degree right-handers to finish. And Short coming around the final corner. He's going to go quicker than Dylan across the line. We break into the 29s already with Short. He's nearly 4 tenths quicker than Dylan. That is a very good lap. Halfway through in qualifying, Short leads, Dylan second, as Zwiedema in third. Harry is on a lap, coming around the final 2 corners. Let's see what he's going to set in terms of lap time. He's going to be in and around Mata sort of area, I think, across the line. Yeah, it goes behind Mata. 31.8 from Harry. Inevitably will improve. Captain Chubbs as well will be amongst that. Alonso coming out the final sector. Now through the final 2 corners out on track. Let's see how he's going to cope. And Alonso coming through the final 2 corners. And he invalidated a 30.4. That's what we saw with Medium Pilot nearly in Division 1, where he completely cut round the outside of the final corner, but still yet set the fastest lap time out on track, which was quite weird, and I think the stewards might be quite angry with that one. But Matt Tibos coming through the middle sector. So we're on a board, taking the wide line coming through turn 10. Got Alfa Romeo just in front of him, which I think is Short out on track. Now we see Matt Tipos running down the straight. Let's see how he's going to get on as he comes now down the straight towards the end of the middle sector. As Zwiedema has retired from the session. That is out of turn 7. So Zwiedema has Obviously lost the car. We'll see on board with the Haas, who I think is Captain... It is Powdy coming through there. There it is. Right-handed damage there for Zuidema, so inevitably won't improve on that lap. We'll go back on board with Matt Tibos, though, who's going to be in and around the leaders. Red Bull just off to the right-hand side was Sway on an outlap, I think. Across the line, Matt Tibos goes, he goes second. So nice lap there by Matt Tibos. It was Sway on an outlap, just getting out of his way. Matt Tibos goes second, ahead of Dylan by nearly a 1/10.5 of a second. 7 minutes to go. M Short leads Matt Tibos second, Dylan in third. Excel not having their own way currently in terms of the placing, certainly. 4th, 5th and 6th, though, was a very good qualifying so far from all team members. As now Gary comes through the middle sector. 200s up through the middle sector. He's personal best, not setting a purple first sector. That probably belongs to M Short, as AJ goes quickest by 800ths of a second. So AJ going quickest than M Short, and AJ actually in very good form from last week. He started 13th last time out in Italy, finished 4th, really gained that advantage because of the safety car, and went on to a set of soft compound tyres very late on in that race. So AJ really delivered, and he's delivering so far here. Could be that battle again between AJ and M Short for qualifying bragging rights. Gary is purple through the middle sector. Don't see it, to be honest. He's a 10th up. As now, he will theoretically go ahead of Dylan, I think, in terms of his lap time. He's got J. Cole, I think, ahead of him. And a Mercedes of Iro. Dylan, who was spun, coming through turn 16. Oh, and Gary gets all out of shape, and he's now spun, coming through turn 16. Turn 16 really buggering everyone up here. And unfortunately for Gary, he would have been improving on that lap, but not anymore. He's into the pit lane, and that is Sway, I think, into the pit lane as well, just in behind him. And it's Cowboy actually into the pit lane rather than Sway. Sway is going to be about to be coming into the pit lane. Matter is up through the first sector, 3/10 up. M Short, I think, is going to be waiting until the last breaths of qualifying to set his next lap, as one of the Alfa Romeos is coming out of the pits. I'm just trying to see on the left hand side who it is. It is actually M Short who came out the pits. Matter, though, on a lap, 3/10 up, as I say, through the first sector. And now opening up that second DRS zone. Will open up the taps to around 205 mile an hour under braking zone. Matter coming through the middle sector. Yeah, he's 4/10 up, so he's inevitably going to be improving on this. Whether he improves his position remains to be seen, unless he sets a lightning quick final sector. Very clean, though, coming through turn 14. Now through 15 and 16, this I think is AJ, who was run out of fuel to the right hand side of him. As you can see, just him coming into the pit lane there. And Matter now coming around the final two corners, catches the inside sausage curve, and now around the final corner. Could go ahead of Powdy with this lap, and he does. He does, barely by 300ths of a second, but he does improve on his lap. Captain Chubbs on a lap as well. We'll try and ride on board with everyone if we can during qualifying. Captain Chubbs is one of those that can set a good lap time when he's on the ball, and he'd be hoping to try and set that here. 1:31.9, his current best. Let's see him through the first sector. 33.1, so he's already a 10th up. He wants to be going in and around Cowboy Matter sort of area to really lay it down with some of the guys ahead. The likes of Adamako and Cowboy could be in contention as well for him to go ahead. 4 minutes to go, AJ on top, M Short second, Matt Tibos third. M Short has just started off on a lap. We'll catch on board with that in a little while. And now Chubbs coming through the end of the middle sector. Beautiful camera shot there as the Haas flies through camera. And now through the middle sector, 104.6, he's 4/10 up, so he's inevitably going to be improving ahead of Harry. Needs a set similar to what Matter did in the final sector to lay it all down here with a good lap time as he now comes through turns 15 and 16 once again. M Short is just through the first sector split, so we'll catch on board with that in just a second. Chubbs now through the final corner. Or now through the final corner. He's run out of ERS range, comes across the line, goes ahead of Harry. 1:31.4, found 5/10 per second on that lap. Alonso through the first sector there. There is M Short, and he's 300ths up through the first sector. So let's see how M Short is going to cope with these final two sectors out on track. The second sector split is about to come up any second now. We'll see if he's in and around his time. He is, he's a 10th up, so theoretically already ahead of AJ. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, easy mistakes to make, then I'm sure we'll be going on pole position possibly. He could actually go into the pit lane and come in for a last lap, comes across the line to set qualifying sort of way, but he's not. He's going to continue on. No, he is. He's going to come into the pits. think he must have heard me mention that on the stream, but M Short into the pit lane, and now he is in. With only 3 minutes to go, I think it's the right call, to be honest. He doesn't want to be setting a lap. I think it's the same with Alonso as well, who's running very low gears as he comes through 15 and 16. And he is going to go on for a lap. So right above with the German as he comes around now through the final 2 corners. And he's going to be in and around M Short sort of area across the line. Goes 4th, just behind Matt Tibos. So a nice lap there by Alonso as we caught on board late. 30.1 for Alonso. J. Cole, I think, has just gone on to a lap in behind. So we're right on board with him, as now he sets us off on a lap. Of course, former ILRT member. And ILRT sadly disbanding at the over the last week or so, certainly within the last couple of days. So unfortunate, I think, from our perspective. Of course, they've been really good participants within the EML in previous esports mini leagues. Of course, you'll be seeing that next week. J. Cole through the first sector, 32.6, 200s up, 200s down, I should say, through the first sector, but he'll be hoping to try and improve. And J. Cole coming through turn 8, and he's invalid. So that might be his qualifying over and done with, unless he's prepared the car for another lap, which he might have done. But J. Cole not going to be setting a lap. Neither, I don't think, it's Chubbs and Harry. I think Harry has just came out of the pit lane. Chubbs, though, was out on track with a couple of minutes to go. So Alonso now comes through the middle sector. He's not on a lap. Sway is through the middle sector, though, and he is on a lap. As now we see on board with just less than a minute and a half to go. AJ on top, M Short second, Matt Tibos third, as Chubbs retires in the pit lane out of the session. Alonso there getting out of the way to the left-hand side. Sway 2 tenths up, coming through the middle sector split, 32.4. Inevitably, I think he's going to improve on that, 32.4. I cannot see him being in and around last position, to be honest, here. As Sway, oh, actually, I've just said that, and he's just lost it completely out of turn 15. I don't want to be repeating myself with that. Sway now coming around the final 2 corners. He will improve, inevitably. He backed off through the final sector, and even with that spin, that half spin, he went 9th. I think he got cost at least a 10th of a second there, so I think 9th probably would have been quite fair, to be honest, with that lap. So nice up there by Sway. One of the next across the line, I think, is going to be Adam Acko. Gary is behind him out on track, so Adam Acko is going to be one of the first to come across, unless that is Gary. No, that is Gary directly behind Adam Acko. 300s up through the first sector for Adam. He now comes through the middle sector, right in the curb nicely. There's a yellow flag in the middle, in the final sector. I think that might have been Matt Tibos getting out of the way of a driver on a lap. And I think that might have been one of the Ferraris at least. Adam Acko now coming through middle sector split. Wonderful flap, 4 tenths up, so he's inevitably going to be improving. Very good in terms of qualifying here, Adam Acko. Always provides a good qualifying show. Not so much in the race, he lacks a little bit of inconsistency, but he'd be hoping to try and right that. As qualifying is now over, Alonso wins the pit lane, and actually Adam Acko has invalidated on his lap. So that means we're going board with Gary, who's 2 tenths up, coming through the final 2 corners, now getting very close to the wall on the left-hand side. But now Gary round the final corner, comes across the line, goes third. 300s ahead of Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos is nowhere near the line yet. J. Cole through the final corner. Is he going to improve? Yes, he goes third. So Gary will not be happy with that. J. Cole going ahead of Gary in terms of teammates. M Short is on a lap as well. He's 200s down. Where is AJ on track? AJ's invalidated. So it's all about M Short then and Matt Tibos. And they're both in and around the same area out on track. M Short through the middle sector at 2 tenths up. So M Short looking to try and improve ahead of AJ. Inevitably, AJ with an invalid lap, he's not going to be improving. M Short really needs to lay it on the line here. Now through 15 and 16. Sway's retired from the session, I think, in the pit lane. That's Dylan off to the right-hand side. M Short now coming around the final 2 corners, really powering into the corner. He's got Corboy just ahead of him out on track. But across the line he comes, goes second. I thought he was going to be quicker, but Tibos goes 4th, and M Short falls short. To pardon the pun, and AJ is on pole position. Surely he is. That is the end of qualifying. AJ coming into the pit lane. He'll be happy with that. AJ on top, M Short second, and J. Cole in third. And M Short, I think he got caught coming through turn 14. He made a slight mistake, and that cost him. That really did cost him. 29.756 compared to AJ's 29.735. And AJ, not for the first time this season, outguns M Short in qualifying. J. Cole third, Matt Tibos 4th, and Gary in 5th position out on track. as let me have a look at your beautiful comment section. Again, sorry if you are expecting graphics on the stream. And Honey Badger complaining. It works all night, and then when he's preparing everything, and 3 minutes before it starts, it doesn't work, which is unfortunate, and he's not even without Wi-Fi now, which is absolutely terrible. But AJ on top, M Short second, J Cole in third, Matt Tibos in fourth, with Gary rounding off the top five. Only 0.3 per second separating the top five. Very good qualifying session. Alonso in sixth, with Dylan in seventh, Zuidema in eighth, that is Dan of course, Sway in ninth, and Anamako rounding off the top 10. Callboy in 11th, Matter in 12th, Paddy in 13th, Harry in 14th, and Chubbs rounding off the 15 drivers out on track. And to be honest, for a track like Russia, 1.7 seconds separating the top 15 out on track, all the 15 drivers, that's not a bad qualifying session at all from anybody within the session. So well done to all of the guys there. And just for benefit as well, top 9 separated by less than 0.8 of a second. Let me have a tune in then to see how you guys are doing, as we see Callboy, Graham and Mage showing the love there in the comment section. Of course, if you are a new fan of TTML and of League Racing TV as well, you will know, of course, that Esports Mini League is coming up next week. I'll promote that towards the end of the stream, but again, you join me here, beautiful blue skies in Russia, and I'm really glad we can travel to Russia, to be honest, because the coronavirus is still kicking about, and obviously with the NHS releasing the Test and Trace app today, I urge everyone that is watching the stream, if you haven't already, to download it if your phone is compatible, because it will of course protect yourself, protect everyone else against possibly coming into contact with somebody that has had COVID-19. Really important matter to get out there, but we are about to start the formation lap, 15 seconds until the formation lap is scheduled to begin. Place your bets in the comment section. Who's going to be on top in the race? I will make my top 3 towards the end of qualifying, towards the end of the race, I should say, of course. We've already had qualifying. But now, we get prepared for the formation lap. AJ leads us off. 27 laps, of course, await the drivers out on track tonight. Let's have a look at the tyres that everyone has decided to go on for, and judging by the little bit of bias that we've got towards the mediums, 12th, 13th and 14th, that's Matter, Powdy and Harry, the mediums might be the way to go, because they do last around 18, 19 laps. I've seen some drivers make it before they pit in for a set of softs. A set of softs can only really last around 7 or 8 laps on a good day around here, and if the cloud cover obviously comes over towards the end of the race, and we might get a threat of rain, which I hope we don't, I hope there's no threat of rain within the race, but what I hope, to be honest, is that we get a very clean race. And you can see already the cloud beginning to build slightly. That means the set of soft compound of tyres will not work effectively underneath the cloud cover as they would in the sun. Obviously in parts of the shaded track they will operate at a colder temperature. In parts of the hot track, as you see with the sun now blaring out, they will operate at their correct temperature. So the mediums might be the ones to watch. Matter, Powdy and Harry, as I say, 17, 18 laps can be doable on that strategy. Set of soft runners, Callboy and Chubbs down in the bottom 5 as well. They're on a set of soft compound of tyres, so they're going to be going probably onto a set of hard compound of tyres, I would imagine, from around 8 or lap 9. Expect though that me not to be too cautious on that. Expect those guys to pit in, I think, earlier, especially in the top 10. I think those guys should pit in lap 6, lap 7. I'm thinking maybe even earlier than that to get a one-stop strategy going around here. As AJ doing the burnouts here in the Racing Point. Good to see Racing Point, of course, on pole position. And as we now come around the final couple of corners, you are dying, literally at the death, to hear of what I'm going to predict in terms of my top 3, and let's see if we can actually get a prediction correct for once. So for my top 3 here tonight, I'm going to go M Short for the win. There's a predicted pit stop strategy, by the way. 1 stop, lap 11 to 15, they say. 1 stop to a set of hards, lap 10 to 15. Expect those guys to probably pit in earlier than that, but M Short for the win for me. I'm going to go Matibos for second and Alonso third. I think he can show a better race pace than he does in qualifying, as he now is one of the final ones to join up onto the grid. We are about to get underway for round 9 on the championship here in Russian. Fasten your seatbelts, because this is going to be quite a wild race. The 5 red lights are now coming on for round 9 here in Russia. And a quick light turn, away we go. AJ gets a very good start off the line. M Short as well. Matebos has already got the jump on J. Cole coming through turn 1. And the predicted pit stop strategy comes up once again. But AJ leads, going down towards turn 1. M Short though on the inside line and takes the lead of the race. So M Short through. Matebos trying to come through there as well. Drivers having to fly off. There's a front wing gone flying there. I think that might have been of Harry, who's had contact earlier. Matebos is down the inside through on AJ. He is through and he's gone for the lead of the race. Matebos down the inside. Oh my goodness me, M Short now leads. Matebos in second. He tried to go for the impossible move. He is through though, and he's up into second. AJ dropping down to third. J. Cole in fourth. Gary has dropped all the way down to sixth. ASE Alonso is already up into fifth position. Not looking too bad for my prediction early on, to be honest. Widema in seventh. Dylan Nate Alamako 9th, Sway in 10th, Cowboy 11th, Parody 12th, Matter 13th, Chubbs in 14th. Harry, I think, has spun right in the background. We'll see if he's got front wing damage. He has. I think he's got right side end plate damage. It's left side end plate damage on your screen now, but left side end plate damage for Harry, and that's why we saw that front wing begin to fly. M Short, though, under pressure from Matebos, as we see Parody get the overtake done on Sway, running down the straight further down the field. But we'll focus on the battle for the lead for now. Matebos on the back of M Short. And everyone relatively clean lap as XL Gary is on the back of ASE Alonso, trying to pressurise him into a bit of a mistake. So Widema is also on the back. XL running 4th, 6th and 7th. You see there, Matt around the outside of Sway getting the job done, and now Chubbs is going to get the run on the outside line as Sway's into the pit lane. Right side end plate damage for Sway as we see a graphics glitch, but M Short does lead the way. Matebos in second. And then it's AJ in third, J. Cole in fourth, as everyone has now pretty much glitched on this graphics end. Matebos on the back of M Short, and they really need to fix this graphics glitch, honestly. Gary on the back of Alonso. This is 4th, 5th and 6th currently. J. Cole just ahead in 4th. So Gary on the back. He's not showing his 8th position, by the way. He's definitely in 6th. J. Cole is on the back of AJ, trying to get the move done down in towards, as I ride on board with Matebos, because it's completely gone belly up there as J. Cole now comes in behind AJ, sways into the pit for a set of mediums. Harry, interestingly, on a set of soft compound tyre. He's the last one to come out the pit lane, of course, after that front wing damage. I can only assume Sway and Harry have had a bit of contact coming through, but we are on lap 2, not lap 3 as it's shown on your screens, and I'm sure beginning to pull away. I think he's got nearly a second gap, I would say, to Matebos. So probably around half a second as he came through there, but Matebos now on the back of M Short, trying to pressurise. AJ is probably around 8/10, 9/10 off as he comes into the braking zone behind. So now we see that sector 1 split. Now we see the correct position. So it's M Short, Matebos, AJ, J. Cole up top 4 positions. Gary is on the back of Alonso as well. I will have to go in a couple of minutes just for a brief little respite from the action, but I will keep on board with the closest battle out on track so you guys do not miss a thing out on track. M Short, fastest lap of the race. It is lap 3. M Short leads, Matebos second, AJ in third, J. Cole in fourth. The DRS, of course, can be enabled up. I don't think anybody is going to be really close enough to try and have a go down in towards turn 1. In fact, everyone is running in a DRS train, so nobody is close enough down in towards turn 1. We see Chubbs on the back of Matter, but that is not close enough down in towards turn 1. So Chubbs still in 13th, Matter in 14th. Battle for the lead though. M Short leads, Matebos second. AJ might have overdone his tyres though through qualifying. J. Cole is on the back. He's 4/10 off as he comes now through turn 6 out on track. Now through 7 and 8. Alonso in 5th, Gary in 6th position. And AJ's just broken out that 1 second gap slightly. He's now back within it. AJ's just got to be careful in managing his tyres. And he's now back within a second, and I would say quite easily within a second as well, as he now comes through turn 11. But Matebos on the back of M Short will run on board with this toward the lead, and now Matebos looking for the move on M Short, switches to the inside line. M Short defends to the outside. Has Matebos got the legs, and now Renault use them as a bit of a braking marker there. M Short now leads, Matebos though second, and Matt down the inside through turn 14, trying to get the move done now into 15. Brilliant stuff by Matebos if you can pull this off. M Short though, wise to the fact, wise to the danger, he's back in front. Great racing there between them both. Matebos just used him up a little bit of a braking marker there, but M Short leads, Matebos second, AJ in third, and M Short lives to fight another day, but for how long? Because Matt Tibos is on the back of him. 4/10 of a second as they run down the straight now towards turn 2 once again. You can see Matt Tibos trying to desperately get in the toe. Is he going to be close enough for the move? He's trying to use up the overtake mode. Down in towards turn 2. Gets the move done. Has he gone too deep? No, he gets the car stopped. M Short trying to go around the outside. AJ's in with a chance here as well. Trying to go on the inside line. J. Cole within this as well. 4-way battle for the lead as we now come through turn 4. M Short around the outside of Matt Tibos. Camera angle's very difficult to pan out, but I think he's got it done. M Short is back ahead of Matt Tibos. Fantastic stuff, and AJ's trying to get involved as well. Goodness me, I'm not going to go for my break here, to be honest. J. Cole on the back of this as well, but M Short leads, Matt Tibos second, and M Short beginning to pull away. Matt Tibos just came under that bit of pressure. Might have overdone his tyres slightly, but he's in second position. AJ in third, J. Cole in fourth. Alonso, Gary, Zuidema are all lining up, possibly to have a go at Matt Tibos. But brilliant racing. M Short now leads. Matt Tibos in second, AJ in third. Are we going to see AJ close enough for a move here? I don't think we are. We might see J. Cole close enough for the move on the back of AJ. Very close actually to the back as now Gary tries to get an awesome run coming through 10-15. Or now in towards 10-15, but no, we sit on tight. M Short leads, Matt Tibos second, AJ in third. I will be back in just 1 or 2 minutes. I am back, and just like that, there's a safety car out on track. It looks like Captain Chubbs has spun. Not sure where out on track he might have spun, but he is out of the race. He's DNF'd, and sadly Captain Chubbs out the race, which means safety car now in deployment out on track. That brings a race neutralisation period for me to catch my breath as well. Massa leads then under the safety car because, pardon me, because he hasn't pitted. So Mata is the only one, I think, not to pit under this under this safety car, probably because Matt Tibos pitted in front of him, and Mata now leads with 6 laps gone. M Short second, Tibos in third, J. Cole in fourth, AJ fifth, Zuidema in sixth, Coleboy 7th, Alonso in 8th, Paddy 9th, Gary 10th, Dylan 11th, Adamako 12th, Swain 13th, and Harry in 14th position. And I'm absolutely sweating because I've ran up the stairs. Oh, but at least there's a safety car out which can let me catch my breath and talk to you guys, of course. But not sure what happened to Chubbs underneath the safety car. I'll try and see if there's any word from him on Discord. There isn't, so not sure what might have happened. So I completely missed it, so I don't know what happened, to be honest. So Division 2 obviously live, but I'm glad we are live here tonight, obviously without the graphics, but I'm sure Tom will be back next week providing you guys with those great graphics out on track. And there's a spinner as well, Mashiro in Division 3 who was spun, but it is F1MG who leads Jan in second and Jonas in third out on track there in Division 3, and of course that is either Bryn Mike and TTG Conti taking you through that one if you do want to have a look on that, or if you want to ride on board with both of us, you can show the love and spread the love that little bit more as well. But safety car will be out for at least another lap out on track, just waiting on Sway and Harry to rejoin on the back of the safety car queue. Both laps 7 out of 27 about to begin, and to be honest, apart from Alonso's pit stop, he probably had to wait for M Short coming out the pits ahead of him. My prediction is not looking too bad. With Matter still yet to come into the pit lane, M Short leads Matt Tibos in second. I will take that currently. They're in second and third, I know, but I will take that as being first and second out on track, because obviously Matter will still yet to come into the pit lane. And that means a James Head prediction could actually be coming right for once. Alonso down there, he will be in 7th once Matter comes into pit lane, but it is quite an interesting perspective actually, because Matter now has got a 6-lap old mediums. He's on his 7th lap on these medium compound of tyres. What he will do, I think, in terms of a tactical point of view, is hold M Short up for as much as possible, get Matt Tibos in a position where he will be close enough for the move to get to try and get the move done, and if Matt Tibos gets that move done, he will then let M Short through, and then they can have a battle. Oh, and as you see, Matter actually spinning the car under the safety car. Goodness me, he hit the wall. Don't want to be trying that, my son. Goodness me. That's a terrifying moment for Matter. Don't ever do that ever again. I think he's learned his lesson from that one. Matter on top though, M Short second, Matt Tibos in third. But yeah, on a serious note, I think Matter should just try and hold up M Short as much as possible. M Short will then be forced possibly into giving up the position to Matt Tibos, and then Matt Tibos will lead the race from M Short in second if that happens. The safety car should be in this lap. You should see it come out of turn 14. That's where we normally see the safety car come into the pit lane. You can see the virtual Burt Marlander there, summing up very much as the safety car now comes in this lap, and now Matter will back up the pack. Medium part I got it spot on in Division 1 in terms of a safety car restart. So we'll see how this goes once again out on track. M Short in behind, looking and waiting. We'll ride on board with him. Weaving the tyres, of course, try and get heat in. They're relatively fresh on those tyres. They've already done at least 2 laps on them, not the 1 lap as you see on your screen. But Matter, this will be his time to go. Out of turn 16, this will be his time to go, I would think. Safety car is in. He's going to wait, and now he'll begin to floor it any second now. M Short is very aware of the danger, and now Matter floors it, and M Short has been completely left behind, and that is a fantastic restart from Matter. Just backed up the pack too much. Dylan is through and out of Mako, swapping position there, so it might be a yellow flag, but we're back underway. Matter leads. What a restart that was. He's already got a second over M Short. Matt Tibos in third. AJ's already on the back of J. Cole, running down the straight. Is he going to be close enough for a possible move? As we see the weaving going on from M Short and Matt Tibos under that safety car restart. M Short has just been left behind by Matter. It's as simple as that under the safety car restart. Gary's picked up the first 3-second time penalty of the night, as now Dylan tries to go all the way around the outside of Powdy. He's very close to the back. A little bit of lag coming from Dylan's end, down the inside and towards turn 4. Backs off. That's how you take turn 4 side by side, and Powdy just about hangs on in 9th position. Dylan currently in 10th. Great restart by everyone, apart from Harry, who's got a 3-second time penalty, and now Matter leads. But those older medium compound of tyres are going to really start to wear out on track. M Short is in behind, 5/10 of a second, chomping at the bit as he now comes down the straight. 85% of EOS saved as he now comes down that straight. As I think I've got myself in a bit of a tangle here with my microphone. I might have to sort that out in just a second. But AJ on the back of J. Cole, and I will try and sort this out now, if I can. There we go. Just a little bit of wire tangled around the headset there, but M Short on the back of Mata. He does lead the way still. Fantastic restart, but you can see how much now M Short has gained. And Matt Tibos, this is the perfect scenario for Matt Tibos to be in. He's right on the back of M Short. M Short is on the back of Mata. Mata will try and outdo him down the straight in terms of straight line speed. Third of the way through in Russia. Mata leads, M Short second, Matt Tibos in third. Here comes M Short, trying to look to the outside line, trying to look for the overtake mode around the outside. He goes through turn 2. Can he get the move done? Little bit of lag, but M Short forced off track, and now he's had to cut across the track, and now Matt Tibos parting on the Red Sea, trying to go around the outside. This is exactly what I said just before the safety car restart. He's now down the inside, but he doesn't complete the move, or does he? No, M Short is still ahead. Matt Tibos second, Mata in third. How fortunate was that? As now Mata tries to go around the outside of his teammate, breaks completely late, and now the former teammates are going at it. It is Mata and J. Cole now for third and fourth. Gary has dropped down under the safety car restart. I think he got held in the pit lane, possibly by J. Cole. A fantastic start nonetheless, M Short. Matt Tibos has picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be quite costly, but now M Short really beginning to put on the power, put on the pace. 6/10 of a second he leads from Matt Tibos in second, Mata in third, J. Cole in fourth, AJ in fifth, Zwiedema in sixth. As you see, J. Cole getting really close to the back of Mata here. As they come through turn 13 and 14 once again. My voice is already going, and it's only lap 9 out of 27. Comes to show I've been working really hard this week. M Short leads Matt Tibos in second. That's right on board there with Callboy, who's on the back of Zwiedema. And Zwiedema actually, apart from just there, Callboy was looking quicker than him. But now 7/10 of a second separates the guys out on track. And with DRS enabled, he will try and close in. But everyone running a bit of a DRS train. J. Cole now on the back of Mata. Are we going to see a possible overtake here from J. Cole? He's closing in. Mata switches to the inside line. J. Cole tries to go all the way around the outside line. He doesn't. Forced off track slightly. And Mata hangs on for third. So Mata hanging on for third. J. Cole trying to go back down the inside though through turn 4. He's not going to be close enough. Powdy, however, is close enough on Adamako coming through turn 4. These guys are side by side. Adamako's trying to hang it all the way on the inside line. This is brilliant stuff from Adamako. Brilliant. Absolutely sensational stuff by Adamako. Superior racing there. And he is up into 11th position. Powdy had no chance on that set of hard compound of tyres. As we see, J. Cole and Mata, I think, pick up 3-second time penalties there. So what an overtake by Adamako though to get the move done. AJ trying to come back into contention. He is now on the back of J. Cole. Oh, and he's nearly into the wall. Really fortunate not to get any front wing damage there. I don't think he's gone behind Zwiedema, but goodness me, that could have been a hell of a lot worse. As now we see side by side Dylan and Alonso. Dylan's making up good progress through the field. He is now up into P8 out on track. Alonso, for my top 3 prediction, is not really going great guns at all. He's down in 9th currently. Gary is now on the back of Alonso as well, trying to get the move done down into 15, but it's not close enough. You see the little bit of lag there from Gary, but now the battle for the lead commences once again. Matt Tibos, M Short. How this rivalry will want to go on to the end. The pit window is now open apparently for M Short. He will not like that at all. But now Matt Tibos sizing up the opportunity to go right around the outside of M Short. There is M Short, and there goes M Short backwards behind Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos soon he's into the lead of the race. J. Cole getting through on Mata. He is through and he's up into third, and I think Gary has just got the move done as well on Alonso, looking at the timings he has. So Gary is up into 9th position, picks up another 3-second time penalty out on track. Mata's trying to hang it all the way around the outside on J. Cole. Not quite. Great racing here in Division 2 though. This is more like it. Matt Tibos leads, M Short second, J. Cole in third. Mata's still in 4th, with Zwiedema in 5th. AJ in 6th, Callboy in 7th. And actually, AJ after that spin is under pressure now from Callboy. The Irishman trying to get closer to the back of the break. The Racing Point, of course, qualifying on pole. We'll be hoping to try and pick up some extra points rather than 6th. They'd be relying on Mata to back up Zwiedema into him, I would think. As now Callboy is on the back of AJ. AJ will not have any DRS running down the straight. Callboy will, and you will see the closing speed difference between them both, but Callboy decides not to operate his overtake mode fully, and he will remain in behind AJ for now. As Zwiedema in 5th position on the back of Mata. Top 5 are running a bit of a DRS train. It is Matt Tibos who does lead. M Short second, J. Cole in third. We're about to begin lap 12 out of 27 here out on track. If you are enjoying the action here in Division 2, or indeed if you're watching with Division 3 alongside, Give us a like, comment and subscribe, and take that notification bell, of course, if you are new. 1,000 subscribers is the aim by the start of the new year. Let's get that done, shall we? As M Short is about to get this move done for the lead of the race. Down the inside he goes, and M Short is through. Down into the inside of turn 2, gets the move done. Really lactose intolerant. Really lactose on the power there. Really lacked nearly in the overseer, but M Short hangs on for the lead of the race. Out on track, Callboy and Dylan side by side. Dylan down the inside line. Tries to force Callboy's hand, but he doesn't. That brings Gary now into play for a possible move down in towards turn 5. Very close on the braking zone there for Gary. But he's on the back of Dylan. Who said Russia doesn't provide any good action? I certainly didn't say that at the start of the stream. In fact, I haven't said it at all. And now Russia really providing the action out on track, and hopefully you guys are really enjoying this. Captain Chubbs obviously bringing out the safety car has brought the field a lot closer together, as would be the case. But Dylan now trying to get onto the back of Callboy. You can see Callboy just pulling away. It looks like he might have just used up a little bit of overtake mode to try and force his way now ahead of Dylan, or try and force his way further ahead of Dylan, I should say. Alonso getting outdone there by Gary. 9/10 per second now, the gap between Gary and Alonso out on track. Tibos though on the back, as Dylan has, I think, just been overtaken by Gary around the outside there. If I'm not mistaken, I saw that in the background of shot, briefly cut off. But I think Gary went around the outside, coming through turn 16 on Dylan. So he's now through and he's up into 8th. The cloud is now really beginning to build, though, here in Russia. As there wasn't a threat of rain, I don't think, before the race. Here comes Callboy, though, as we switch on board. Down the inside on AJ. Job done for Callboy. Harry is out of the race, and there's a safety car. No, there's not. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. I think he's retired that in the pit lane. There's now Callboy has been outdone by AJ now on the inside line. So they swap positions once again, AJ and Callboy. AJ through, and he's up into P6. Callboy now through, and he's up into P7. But for how long? Because he could get the move done. Not quite to the back of AJ. M-Shot leads, better approach the halfway stage, but look at how dark it's got out on track. Russia obviously provides a bit of a weather change, but I've not seen a weather change like this in ages, from instantly blue skies one lap to looking like it's going to rain the next. I really hope it is not going to rain out on track. It'll spoil the race slightly. But here comes Callboy on the back of AJ's. Harry leaves the session. We thank him though for attending. Callboy though on the back of AJ, not close enough. Sway is through on the back of Alonso as well. Down the inside he goes, and Sway is through, and he's up into 11th position as well. Beautiful overtake there by the Brit on the German. But my goodness me, how the clouds have rolled in here in Russia. Lap 14 is about to begin out on track. So we're pretty much through the halfway stage. Gary on the back of Callboy now. The two Irishmen about to fight out this race. Why do people throw away points by retiring, May says? I know, it is so unfortunate. Obviously with Chubb, I think it couldn't be helped. He brought out the safety car. In the meantime, though, we're cut on board with Gary, who's on the back of Callboy. Callboy on the back of AJ. But they're not close enough down the inside of turn 1. Yeah, it is a shame. Obviously, the guys, I think, obviously you have to read the rules first. As now we see Gary trying to go all the way around the outside of turn 3. Can he get the move done? Right around the outside he goes. Brilliant stuff. Cuts Callboy short at the pass. He is through. Gary round the outside of turn 3. I've seen plenty moves done like that. Gary is through and he's up into 7th. That brings Dylan now into play onto the back of Callboy. But my God, that took guts and determination around the outside from Gary. He is through and he's up into 7th. Brilliant, brilliant racing. And who said you couldn't overtake around the outside in Russia? Well, Gary certainly defied the odds there. As now we ride on board with him. Now on the back of AJ. AJ, I'm sorry to say, is looking like a sitting duck. You can see the blistering occurring on that left front, on that left rear tyre, I should say. Gary now to the outside line, on the brakes, job done. He's through and he's up into P6. One's a little deep, but I don't think he cares about that, to be honest. He cares about getting the move done, which he has done. He's through and he's up into 6th. Dylan switches to the inside on Callboy. This is bringing Adamako and Sway into play. Alonso not too far off this either. Alonso really struggling. He might have a little bit of end plate damage possibly on that car. Really beginning to struggle out on track. We might see a one-stop to the end of the race from some of these guys. 12 laps to go, 20 laps on a set of mediums. Might be doable. Callboy though on the back of AJ. Matt Tibos and M Short 3.5 tenths for the lead of the race. I don't think Callboy is going to be close enough. He's running at 50% ERS running down the straight, or 50% less ERS down the straight, I should say, because it's not running above 10%. And Callboy not close enough to the back of AJ. Back to the battle for the lead. M Short and Matt Tibos. Leading the way, M Short. Matt Tibos in second. So we did see that switch pole position, of course, out on track. A look at how gloomy this weather is getting out on track. And you might see the first signs of the rain beginning to fall very soon indeed. If it is due to rain in this race, it'll probably come now rather than later, I would imagine. M Short leads, Matt Tibos in second. They've pulled 1.3 seconds now to the back of J. Cole, so they've actually broken that DRS toll to J. Cole and behind, and now J. Cole getting closer by Matter. Matter is still in fourth. I thought he would have dropped back quite a long way, but Matt's actually in with a good shout. If the rain comes, he might be predicting this. Matter might have stayed out here on purpose because these mediums, these older mediums, will run better than fresher mediums in the wet conditions. So if Matter has timed this to perfection, unless it's going to stay dry, and I'm completely trying to bugger everyone up in terms of the weather, Matter just getting out of shape there. But if Matter has played this right, he could be within a chance of actually potentially at least getting a top 5 if the rain begins to fall out on track. Matt Tibos to the back of M Short, not going to be close enough though, down in towards turn 1. Cut back on board as well, further in behind the field. Alamako trying to close in on Dylan. This is for 10th. Well, this is for 9th, I should say. Alamako, to be right on board, is in 10th. And you see the difference in the lines that the guys take actually coming through turn 3, as Matter picks up a 3-second time penalty. Most of the guys that I normally have raced with, as Alamako just decides, you know what, screw the track limits around here. He is wide coming through turn 4 and now through turn 5 again. And Alamako really losing the tyres, it looks like, out on track. Just trying to pinpoint any front wing damage. He doesn't. He runs wide again. He might be just losing his rhythm, but it's gaining him time. He's on the back of Dylan. They'll try and get the move done down in towards turns 12 and 13 through the kink, and then down into the right-hander corner of turn 13. Now Dylan on the back of Callboy. Is he going to be close enough? I don't think so. Lap 16 out of 27 is here. M Short leads, Matt Tibos second, J. Cole in third. J. Cole's now back within a second of the likes of M Short and Matt Tibos. So this is going to be really intriguing towards the end of the race if J. Cole can try and catch the two ahead, and they'll be fantastic because he might pick up his first ever race win in TTML. Really, it's been about the M Short show. Hopefully it is going to be about somebody else's show here tonight in Russia, possibly, certainly from the championship perspective, and I'm sure you guys as well. From that perspective, Matter now under pressure, switches the inside line, so we demo around the outside line, trying to get it done then towards turn 1 and 2. Very tricky to go side by side down into the chicane, and so Demo has to back off that. Matter hangs on for P4, and to be honest, it was Matter's corner. He was in front, so Demo briefly ahead, nearly runs into the back actually of Matter. And Demo on the back is now actually Dylan down the inside of Callboy. Oh, trying to go for a gap that was always going to close. Dylan just landed himself in a bit of a hot pocket there, to be honest. He was down the inside of Callboy, more than entitled to nonetheless. But Callboy now into P8. Dylan's race now ruined by a move that was always going to be having a door closing shut. And Dylan now down to 13th. He will have to troop home, possibly with that left side end plate damage. He might come into the pits and go for a fastest lap of the race. Runs Zuidema now on the back of Matter, and that's the easiest overtake you will see all night. Zuidema is through on Matter, and he's through and he's up into P4. Matter very late on the brakes, though, trying to pressurise the LRT man. And the XL man comes out on top. Could be seen like a little preview, I wonder, for Esports Mini League next week. Of course, Esports Mini League comes to you, I think, from Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken, for round 2. It was Australia, of course, a month ago. And Matter into the pit lane. So what's he going to go on? Will he go? Well, he can't go on another set of mediums. If he goes hards, he could get this to the end if it's going to be wet. But I think it's going to be softs. It is. So soft compound of tyres. Commentator knows absolutely nothing about the weather. Matter out of the pit lane. He will rejoin in 12th. Paddy going past him already, and Dylan is into the pit lane to pit in. Hopefully he will continue on. Fastest lap of the race is, of course, still available. So Mata and Dylan will probably inevitably go for that. And I think they might be the only guys to go on that compound of tyre to the end of the race. I think everyone else now committed possibly to the end of the race. Right on board with Cowboy and Adamako. Cowboy and Adamako have had some good battles this season. I think in Austria they had a good battle, if I remember rightly, and we're going to see it once again here tonight in Russia. And Adamako really liking this Cowboy, getting all out of shape through turn 9. This is going to now bring out Adamako for a possible move down towards turn 13. Cowboy has now dropped 1.6 seconds off the back of AJ. Matibos on the back, and you know where this one's going to go, to be honest. Oh, actually, Cowboy moves across on Adamako. Try to defend the line. I'm sorry, but Adamako just says, no, you know what, I'm still coming through. Get the move done. I think Cowboy didn't realise he was on the inside line, to be honest there. Easy mistake to make. Adamako through, and he's up into 7th. So, no real position lost there for Cowboy, to be honest. I think he was always going to lose that one, despite the little bit of contact down the straight. Adamako through, and he's up into P7. Matt Tibos now on the back of M Short for 10th of a second. In terms of ERS, 44% for M Short down in towards turn 2. And Matt Tibos running at 20%, running less, nearly double the amount less than M Short ahead of him out on track. J. Cole in 3rd, with Zwiedema in 4th. We'll cut back on board though with Cowboy and Adamako, because I have a feeling that battle is not going to be over and done with. And to be honest, actually, Sway has got into contention. Sway in 9th has got really into contention here for possible top 7 finish. Now these guys on a set of mediums and Powdy on a set of hards, they're all on the same strategy. They're pretty much now committed towards the end of the race. If not, we might see another round of pit stops, everyone to go on a set of softs, splash and dash for the last few laps of the race. We might see that out on track, but I really doubt it. I think we're going to see all of these guys on a set of mediums to the end of the race. Matt has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Dylan, it's good to see, is still continuing on there in 13th. I know it hasn't been his race at all, but plenty of points are available out on track for him, as M Short has really pulled away now from Matt Tibos. It makes me wonder if Matt Tibos has made a slight mistake on this lap and we haven't seen it. 1.1 seconds, he's broken now out of the DRS range. So whatever has happened, I think Matt Tibos has made a slight mistake out on track. I'm imagining possibly through turn 8, around that section there. And now J. Cole, 5/10 away, now opening up that overtake mode. Is he going to be close enough for a move? The answer's yes, and you can see how quick that was. J. Cole is through, and he's up into 2nd position. If that wasn't the easiest overtake of the night, then I don't know what will. J. Cole through, and he's up into 2nd, and J. Cole having a real good race here, having the best race of his life here in TTML, doing a fantastic job out on track. He's now up to 2nd, best results of the season by far. And Matt Tibos in 3rd. I don't think J. Cole has actually been on the podium this season, if I'm not mistaken, in TTML. If he has, then correct me, of course, in the comment section. M Short does lead, 1.2 seconds. J. Cole 2nd, Matt Tibos in 3rd. Zwiedema now 4th, with Gary in 5th. AJ 6th, Adamako in 7th. 2 separate battles actually going on here. 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. AJ and Adamako, Cowboy and Sway. Will be interesting to see how the two teammates fight. Powdy is getting caught by Mata as well, as we see Sway right on the back of Cowboy, actually coming now through in towards turn 11 once again. And this should be quite easy pickings, I think, for Sway. The inside line, job done. Not even going to commentate over that one. Sway is through, and he's up into P8. And again, we're now beginning to see the old rusher, I think. We're beginning to see the overtakes being a lot easier out on track, rather than the outside of turn 4 like we saw earlier on in the race with Gary. But M Short leads, J. Cole 2nd, Matt Tibos in 3rd. Lap 21 has just begun. If you have enjoyed this race, of course, do like, comment, subscribe. Tick that notification bell, of course, if you are new to the channel. And help us on our 1,000 subscriber march. And I will announce as well the merchandise towards the end of the race as Adamako sails by on AJ. AJ really beginning to let those tyres go. Unfortunate for him, he has qualifying pace, but never has the race pace, unfortunately for AJ. So just need to improve on that front, but Adamako through and he's up into 6th. AJ now down into 7th. Could become actually into the clutches of Sway, who is beginning to pressurise, possibly, to try and get closer to the back of AJ. Beautiful helicopter cameras. We're on board with the guys coming through the middle sector now. And M-Shot does lead. J. Cole 2nd, Matt Tibos in 3rd. We're on board with Matt Tibos. Saving up that ERS. He is running quite low fuel as well. You can see just the bottom right-hand side of your screen. If you look down, the yellow fuel light is on. That normally indicates that a driver has around half a litre of fuel or less, or slightly more, for him to use. So Matt Tibos going to be cutting it quite tight, I think, on fuel. If there's anybody that will get home on his fuel, it will be Matt Tibos. The skies are now beginning to brighten, so it looks like it's going to be a clear race now towards the end. Short leads. J. Cole in 2nd. J. Cole trying to drag along Matt Tibos into play as well. J. Cole not going to have the DRS range. You can see, actually, Matt Tibos is not even going to have a try in attempting this, as Matt Tibos will save up this ERS for now. And, of course, if you are new to Formula 1 and are tuning in for the first time, ERS means the energy recovery system. So just think of it this way. When we see Matt Tibos, we'll take it on board with him. We'll see Matt Tibos break into turn 4 here. You see the energy bar goes up. When the car accelerates coming out the corner, the energy bar drops down. So essentially think of it as when you break into a corner, you save the ERS as much as possible. When you go out of a corner, you lose the ERS as much as possible. And that is all about energy recovery and deployment out on track. Of course, the other part, and we'll continue to run on board with Matt Tibos while I explain this, is the drag reduction system as well. The drag reduction system gives that extra bit of power. I think it's something like about 20 mile an hour extra in terms of speed running down the straight. Not using it up here, Matt Tibos, but down the straight he would have been gaining to about 5 tenths of a second, I think, there, if he decided to use up the overtake mode and use up the DRS as well, which he was doing, but he didn't use up the overtake mode, so he couldn't catch. It's as simple as that. Sway on the back now of AJ, as we see on board with Adamako on the back of Gary, who runs wide. Adamako now sizing up his opportunity. Matter is through on parity down the straight. He is through and he's up into 11th. Lap 23 has just begun. M-Short leads, J. Cole 2nd, Matt Tibos in 3rd. Really hope you're enjoying this one. We're not done with yet, I don't think, in terms of the action out on track, as now Adamako sizes up a possible run here at Gary. You see the overtake mode now being used up, the DRS, the double trouble out on track for Adamako to get the move done on Gary, and Gary made to look like a sitting duck down the inside. Goes Adamako and he's through and he's up to P5, and this again is one of Adamako's best races so far in TTML. Gary switches to the inside line. The outside line though will gain coming through, and you can see the gap now just going up by 300ths of a second or so. Adamako through and he's up into 5th position. Gary down into 6th. AJ 7th. Sway is still pressurising him. He's dropped off slightly, but Sway is still pressurising him, and Cowboy is in slight contention, I think, to try and get these guys. 1.7 seconds. If these guys really begin to battle, Cowboy will inevitably get onto the back. Matter is the one to watch. Sadly, for my prediction, by the way, it's not going according to plan. I will get the race winner right, at least, at this stage. M-Short does lead. J. Cole 2nd, Matt Tibos in 3rd. Down into the braking zone once again. I see there on the mini-map Matt Tibos quite close to J. Cole. We're on board though with AJ on the back of Gary. And AJ just got to be careful in terms of ERS management. See, some of these guys sometimes run automatic ERS management. And when we mean by automatic ERS, it means the game deploys the ERS wherever it feels like it, to be honest. When you have manual control, I think it's a lot better, to be honest, for the drivers, certainly for the viewers as well. Now, Tibos on the back of J. Cole, 6 tenths of a second. The gap extending out. Now, Tibos not going to be close enough to the back here. AJ pressurising Gary. Is Gary going to be another sitting duck one, I wonder, down the inside and towards turn 2? Closing in, closing in. AJ might switch to the outside line here. No, he switches to the inside line. Down the inside he goes. AJ through on Gary. Is that a Mac? Oh, Gary spun! Gary has spun. He's lost his front wing. I'm not sure if he got caught on the curb there. It didn't look like contact to me. Gary has spun on the curb. No front wing damage. And the Ferraris, like in real life, have bottled it. And there's a safety car out on track because of Gary's front wing damage. There is a safety car out on track, obviously within the racing line, and now this brings a possible 2-lap sprint right to the end of the race. What do the guys do now? M Short leads, Jacob second, Matt Tibos in third. If this race couldn't get any more crazier, we've just had it. Safety car out with 4 laps to go, 3.5 if you're being picky. Game on. This is now time for Hearts of Courage like music to come on, but I'm not going to play it from my perspective anyways. But here we go. This is going to be really fascinating, I think, out on track. ERS is restricted to manual. Yeah, ERS is restricted to manual. I know I've seen some of the guys actually use automatic ERS in some of the league races I've been watching and some of the others. Matt Tibos was going to come into the pit lane, now he's not. And everyone, I think, is not deciding to come into the pit lane. And to be honest, it's not a bad strategy to go either. But Dan Morris, by the way, saying Matt Tibos first, M Short second, AJ third, Alonso fourth, Cowboy in fifth. That was his top 5. Not too far off, I've got to be honest. M Short, Matt Tibos is in there, Adamako in there, but nobody else. Gary's into the pits, obviously with front wing damage, and Alonso into the pits. So he might go for fastest lap of the race. We will have 2 more laps to go. What the safety car does, it does not go out for just a 1-lap sprint. You've got to have at least 2 laps extra under the safety car. So anybody else now has got to close up under this safety car. And unfortunately, for the guys like Gary and Alonso who have just pitted, they're not going to get a chance to catch back up, I don't think. I've seen this before. I think it was a TTML race that I commentated on a few weeks back. And we had the safety car come out at around the 3rd last lap. I think it was in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Division 1 Italy, I think it might have been, where we had that sprint race pretty much to the line. It was the final 2 laps of the race. And what happened was the guys came into the pit lane, they didn't catch back up in time. They don't stick to delta when they've came out the pit lane, but they're not close enough to stick onto the back. It's one of those things, I'm afraid, you just have to take that gamble, and for the likes of Gary, Alonso and Powdy, they've took that gamble. And it's not going to pay off because we will see the safety car come into the pits this lap. Beautifully timed as well. Safety car will come into the pits this lap. And that now means M Short has got to do this all over again. And with Husky Chocolate on the side of his car there, trying to steal McLaren's sponsors, I wonder. Alonso picking up a 3-second time penalty. I don't blame him, to be honest. But you can see Gary is 22 seconds off the back of Mata. He's not going to be catching up in time. Neither is the rest of the guys. It's unfortunate that the safety car has came out, but 2 laps to go. This is it. This can be the difference between winning or losing. This can be the difference between a championship win and bottling it for next week. M Short out of the final 2 corners, says go, and really leaves J. Cole behind. Great restart by M Short through the final corner. 2 laps to go. M Short leads. J. Cole second. Matt Tibos in third, and Matt Tibos already close to the back of J. Cole. There's no DRS for the rest of this race. So that means we are now old-fashioned Formula 1 all the way to the end. J. Cole in second, Matt Tibos in third. Bigdema in fourth, getting quite close. The side-by-side action though. Mata down the inside of Cowboy. Job done. Picks up a 3-second time penalty in the process, but he's through and he's up into P8. Can he keep the outside line? He's on the outside line. He will keep the outside line. Mata through and he's up into 8th position. Go battling there between himself and Cowboy. Cowboy and 19-lap old mediums. To be honest, Mata really fortunate, I think, in terms of the safety car. He's now on the back of Sway. Surely it's just going to be a case, and there's the yellow flag through sector 1 and 2, and it's M Short. M Short has crashed for the lead of the race. I think he's got caught in the outside curve. I'm sorry I missed that, but M Short, how on earth? That's literally what I said. It's between what difference between winning or losing. It's between the difference of trying to get the championship and not. And M Short has bottled it out on track. The outside curve, it seems, has caught him a fray. And now M Short might potentially finish in last position in this race. Gary now through on Cowboy for 8th position. And now J. Cole is leading the way. J. Cole is leading the way. Matt Tibble seconds with Denver in third. We see Sway and Mata going side by side, coming out of turn 15 now. Oh, beautiful move by Mata, ran the outside, and Gary follows through as well. Where has Gary came from in all of this? He's on a fresh set of softs. He's literally just like he's came into the race. He's right on the back of these guys now. And my goodness me, final lap of the race. J. Cole leads, Matt Tibos in second. These guys are going to be hanging on for grim life. Out on track, Zwiedema in third, Adamako in fourth. Here comes Gary though, on the back of Mata. Is he going to be close enough? No, Mata has a try on AJ, trying to get the move done. Not quite, and now Gary tries to switch it to the inside line. Mata trying to go all the way around the outside. This is a beautiful perspective from Gary. Trying to get the move done in towards 7-4. He's got to commit it. Down the inside goes Mata. Gary's going to have both of them. 3 wide now, coming towards 7-5. Have you ever seen this before? Gary down the inside. Mata comes across. It is literally now wacky racers out on track. Mata somehow hangs on. Gary had to cut the corner slightly. He might have picked up a warning in the process, but he's through and he's up to 6th. AJ really losing out on that. Sway now on the back of this as well. Callboy, Alonso, Powdy now ahead of M Short, but I think it's continuing with that front wing damage. But now, final lap, final half a lap, J. Cole leads, Matt Tibos in second. It's going to come down to penalties. Gary on the back of Mata. Can he get 5th position? Can he snatch 5th position from the former ILR team? And he's into the back of him. But Mata hangs on. Gary trying to fight, coming through 10-15. Not quite close enough. He can't find another way through, surely. J. Cole now round the final corner. It is a historic day for J. Cole. If he hasn't got any penalties, he's going to be coming across the line. Round the final corner, he wins in Russia. He wins. Matt Tibos, plenty of penalties. Zwiedema's taken the win. Zwiedema takes the win. Goodness me, the amount of penalties. I don't know who has finished in what position. Zwiedema has won. J. Cole in second, and Callboy has landed himself on the podium for a P3. Absolutely unbelievable. My goodness me, what a finale. Dylan now around the final corner to finish in 13th, spins it round the final corner, but that is it. Zwiedema wins out on track. The name change has done him the world of good. But the driver of the day is voted for the fans. I've got to give it Callboy, yeah. Driver of the day for Callboy. What an ending here in Russia. Go back and watch that final lap of the race later when you get the chance to, because my goodness me, that was dramatic. And it's Zwiedema out on track who takes the win. Somehow, because of penalties, the McLaren to the top step of the podium, and that, with Scuba's absence, is going to give McLaren a big shout at getting the constructors with 2 rounds to go. Oh, take and catch your breath after that one. Zwiedema wins, J. Cole second, and Callboy on the podium in third. There's the penalties. Zwiedema has won from J. Cole in second, Callboy in third. If you came to that, if you predicted that for a top 3, give yourself a big pat on the back. AJ finished in 4th, with Sway in 5th. Adamako drove a really good race, apart from the penalties, in 6th. Alonso in 7th. Matt Tibos finished 2nd, across the line, all the way down in 8th because of 15 seconds worth of penalties. Powdy in 9th. Gary in 10th, outdone by penalties as well. M Short eventually in 11th. Mata in 12th, and Dylan rounding off the 13 finishers. Harry and Captain Chubbs, the 2 DNFers out on track. But my God, what a race. Zwiedema has won, J. Cole second, and Callboy has finished in 3rd position. Oh, catch your breath after that one. My God almighty. What a race in Division 2. And of course, that is not the end of the action this week here on League Racing TV, here in TTML. Russia tomorrow night, Division 4 and 5. It is, of course, Division 4 with Graham Chappell and TTG Callboy, fresh from his 3rd position here in Division 2. They will be commentating you through Division 4, or if you want to watch Division 5, of course, then that is also going to be live on the channel. And it's going to be myself and Mr. Daniel Hoggard taking you through that one as he returns from his week's break. I think he was in Scotland last week, the lucky so-and-so, on holiday. But as we end off this stream, of course, I've got to remind you of what's coming up next week as well. CWC on Monday, then on Tuesday it's Division 1 of TTML, Division EML, replacing Formula 2s on Wednesday, so the Esports Mini League will be live for both tiers of that. Thursday it's Division 2 and 3, we do it all over again, and Division 4 and 5, we go on Friday once again. Oh, I need to lie down after that. I'm sure you guys do too as well, especially if you were racing in that. My word, what a race. Final thing from me, please keep yourselves safe. Please keep your family safe as well. Download that new COVID-19 app as well. Make everyone aware that you know of that application, and make sure that your phone is compatible with it as well, because it is going to be the biggest tool that we have here in the UK, certainly, of fighting the coronavirus by tracking our symptoms and tracking other people who might have had a positive test as well. I cannot stress how important it is. Maintain your hands, face and space as well. Thank you so much for watching here in Division 2. I've been James Head. Take care of yourselves, keep safe, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.